Well, this is Bob Pierce, and I've been working on my 1963 plywood Snipe sailboat, and I got the boat flipped over, which was much easier than I had expected. Usually when I see videos about flipping boats, there's an elaborate system of winches and cables and straps, and the boat gets flipped over while it's suspended by these contraptions. I didn't go that route, as I should have known all along. I could just get a few strong guys, lift the boat and flip it and put it on some sawhorses that I made. I cut off some wooden sawhorses and screwed on some 2x4s onto the top and put a little foam underneath to fit the curve of the deck, and voila, it's very stable and seems to be perfect. So I got to sanding, because that's really all I know how to do is sand. I'm just going through getting the top, any bit of looser paint off the top with some 150 grit, and filling in some chips and places where there was a past poor repair job. I've cut out with a Dremel and refilled with new epoxy, and I'm trying to get this smooth and any sort of cracks filled, which I know is a challenge, but I don't know how to do this any better. I know that trying to fill big patches of existing fiberglass with new fiberglass is a challenge, because you always end up with a crack around the edge, and then you fill it, but then through movement of the boat it cracks again. I know that's a problem, but I don't know exactly how to solve it. I know there are special epoxies that are more flexible that can deal with a little bit of movement, but I don't have that. I'm just filling these cutouts that I made and with new fabric, and then a new layer of epoxy, and fairing it out, and we'll see how that goes. But the good news is this edge tape that I put on is now sanding down very well. This is now a very smooth surface from the deck of the boat around and then straight up. That feels really good. So I'm just going through, and as I go, I'm sort of circling areas that need to be faired out. I'm running the whole boat over with just the sort of vibrating sander, which I like. People don't like, I think, as much, but I like it. Just with some 150 grit and just getting it all smooth and identifying any imperfections that I find. And then I guess I'll take it down to 220. And then maybe even more to 400, and then get it nice and clean. And then I think what I want to do is do a good job with the primer, probably a 2-part primer. Get that on there very smooth and sanded. And then I think I'm just going to use normal off-the-shelf enamel from Benjamin Moore, maybe thinned out a little bit, and use that for the top coat, because I can choose the nice color, and I think that way if I have scratches in the future I can sand them down and just use my can of paint and paint them over and keep it maintained. If with a 2-part top coat, I think it just maintenance becomes too much of a problem. So that's my plan for the paint. I guess I have to talk a little bit about the transom. The transom's still bare wood. I'm going to get that covered with very light cloth and epoxy, and then retape the sides of the transom and get those sanded, and I hope it'll look nice and pretty. So that's it. I think this project is going much faster than expected, so great. Any comments or thoughts are very welcome with it, especially with respect to this paint business and priming business. I have not purchased any primer or paint, so changing course would be pretty easy if someone wants to tell me I'm dumb. Okay, bye-bye.